Welcome back, Night Dwellers. I'm your host, Moffy. Last time, they thought they'd found treasure. Beautiful, mysterious, and completely wrong. Now something is moving. Something is spreading, and our team is running out of time. In tonight's episode, the truth crawls out from the darkness, and it's hungry. This is They Hatched Among Us, Part 2.
Tune in close, dim the light, simple dark tales late at night.
Dalton led the way down the stairwell, his black hair damp with sweat and clinging to his forehead, the small ponytail at the back of his head swaying slightly with each hurried step. The faint glint of his lip chain caught the dim stairwell light as his jaw tensed. Every muscle in his body was taut, adrenaline burning through his veins, his boots thudding heavily against the concrete steps. Behind him, Lucy's breath came in short, panicked bursts as she struggled to keep pace. Her long strides barely kept up, her oversized cardigan flapping as she moved. Sweat dampened the collar of her shirt beneath it, and her hazel eyes darted anxiously toward every shadow. Theo, gripping the railing with white-knuckled fingers, the dim light reflecting off his shaved head, his crystal gray eyes flickering with barely contained tension, cast frequent glances over his shoulder. "How bad is it out there?" Lucy gasped between breaths. Dalton didn't slow, his focus locked on the exit door below. "Bad enough. The city's already shutting down. Emergency alerts, roadblocks, evacuations in some areas. But the government isn't saying what's really happening." Theo scoffed under his breath. Of course not. If they admitted they don't know how to stop it, people will panic. Lucy tightened her grip on the strap of her bag, heart still racing from what she had seen in her apartment. The image of the centipede writhing against the salt still burned in her mind, but there was no time to process it now. They reached the ground floor, pausing just outside the stairwell door. Dalton pressed his back against the wall and peered through the small wired glass window into the parking garage beyond. The dim emergency lighting cast everything in deep shadows, and the usual hum of the city beyond was eerily absent. Then a sound. Faint, skittering noise echoed from the far side of the garage. Theo's breath hitched. "We're not alone." Dalton's grip on his belt tightened, his fingers brushing against the cool metal of his utility knife. "Stay close. Move fast." Lucy swallowed the lump in her throat. Whatever was waiting for them in the darkness, she had a sinking feeling that it had already caught their scent. Dalton pushed open the door. They stepped into the silence, the air thick with tension, and then from the shadows, something moved. Dalton pushed open the door to the parking garage, the heavy metal creaking as stale air rushed over them. The dim, flickering emergency lights cast long, jittering shadows across the cold concrete. Rows of abandoned cars sat eerily silent, their metallic surfaces dull under the fluorescent lights. Lucy swallowed hard, her heart hammering in her chest. The faint, skittering noise echoed again, somewhere between the rows of cars, just beyond sight. She clutched the strap of her bag tighter, feeling it weighing like an anchor, keeping her from bolting. Theo stepped forward cautiously, his movements tense, his eyes darting over every dark corner. "If we can make it to the other side, I parked the car near the exit ramp," he said. "We just have to stay quiet." Dalton nodded and motioned for them to move. He took the lead, stepping carefully around the fallen traffic cone. His breathing was steady, controlled, but he could feel the sweat gathering at the nape of his neck. His fingers hovered over the hilt of his utility knife. His muscles coiled tight. Halfway across the garage, Lucy flinched as a sudden clang echoed through the space, a metal pipe rolling across the concrete floor. Silence. Then a rapid clicking noise, sharp, unnatural. It was coming closer. Theo barely had time to react before a shadow lunged from behind a car. The creature moved impossibly fast, its elongated body flickering through the dim light. Its exoskeleton gleamed with an unnatural iridescent sheen, shifting between deep greens, electric purples, and sickly yellows. Large bulbous eyes glowed a toxic green, multifaceted like a fly's, reflecting every source of light in jagged, fragmented pieces. Rows of razor-sharp mandibles dripped with thick saliva as it twisted its segmented body, its long clawed forearms stretching outward, ready to seize its prey. Its glistening exoskeleton reflected the emergency lights in unnatural hues as it scuttled toward them. "Move!" Dalton shouted, shoving Theo back as the centipede-like creature lunged forward. Lucy stumbled, nearly dropping her bag as she scrambled backward. Her breath came in sharp, panicked bursts, her legs shaking beneath her. The creature twisted its segmented body, its limbs twisting erratically as it adjusted to their sudden movement. Its black eyes locked onto them, unblinking, its mandibles clicking together with an eerie, wet sound. Dalton yanked his knife from his belt, his grip firm. "Stay behind me," he said. The creature reared up, its front legs curling before it struck. Dalton ducked, slashing forward. The blade barely scraped its body before it recoiled, emitting a strange, high-pitched shriek that sent a chill down Lucy's spine. Theo grabbed Lucy's waist, pulling her toward the car. "We need to go now," Dalton said again, slashing and aiming for the creature's legs. It shrieked, retreating slightly, but then coiled itself as if preparing to lunge again. Lucy's vision blurred from adrenaline, but she forced her legs to move. The car was just ahead, their only escape. If they could reach it, if they could just get inside. A second creature slammed into a nearby car, its weight crumpling the hood. Its many legs covered in serrated spines, twitching erratically as it adjusted to the impact. Its rigid, armored plating pulsed, glowing in rhythmic waves along its segmented form. Its antennae lashed wildly, tasting the air, detecting movement with unnatural precision. Its glossy shell rippled, its needle-thin legs skittering in frantic movements. "There's more of them," Theo said. Dalton gritted his teeth, his heart pounding against his ribs. "Get in the damn car." Lucy yanked the door open and practically threw herself into the back seat. Theo dove into the passenger side, fumbling with his seatbelt as Dalton sprinted around the front. The creatures shrieked, their bodies coiled as they lunged. Dalton barely managed to slam the driver door shut before the first centipede crashed against the car, its weight rocking the entire vehicle. Mandibles scraping against the windows, leaving deep, wet streaks on the glass. Theo's hands were shaking as he twisted the key in the ignition. "Come on, come on!" The engine roared to life. Dalton didn't hesitate. He threw the car into reverse and slammed his foot on the gas. The tires screeched, the car fishtailing as he whipped it toward the exit ramp. The creatures scrambled after them, their bodies slamming into the walls and the floor as they pursued. Lucy pressed herself against the seat, her pulse wild. She didn't dare look back. She didn't need to. She could hear them. The relentless clicking, the scratching, the sickening thuds of their bodies hitting the concrete. The ramp loomed ahead. Dalton floored the accelerator. "Hold on." The car burst out of the garage and into the night, tires skidding against wet pavement. The creatures didn't follow. They stopped just at the entrance, lingering in the shadows, their glowing bodies pulsing like embers in the dark. Theo exhaled shakily, running a hand over his face. We're not safe yet. Dalton gripped the wheel, his knuckles white. No, he said, staring into the rearview mirror. Not even close. We need a plan. We can't keep running. If those things get out into the open. Lucy sucked in a breath, the realization clawing its way into her thoughts. Wait, I think I saw something back in my place. One of them ran into my salt lamp and it screamed. I think it burned it. Theo turned to her sharply, his gray eyes narrowing. Are you sure? I didn't put it together at first, Lucy admitted, her hands still trembling. But back there, when we were fighting them, did you see any wounds? Any blood? We barely hurt them, but the salt, that did something.
That concludes today's episode. Join us next week for another spine-tingling tale here on Simple Dark Stories. If you enjoyed this and would like to help out, please give us 5 stars and let us know what haunts your dreams. Until next time, bye-bye.